Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. After 49 eventful games so far, we are back for a slate of 13 Sunday games to kick off our 50th game. We're going to be going to New York, but let's do a quick recap. 23 and 26 so far after, fun Thursday night football. But now we kick on to Sundays, and let's just get started back to New York like we said. Broncos going on to take on the New York Jets. We are rocking with the home team in this one, New York Jets. Yes, the Broncos were absolutely phenomenal against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last week, but we'll see if that carries on over this week. Rodgers versus Knicks. I'm always going to pick on a 20-year veteran, even though a 25-year-old rookie has shown some flashes. Like I talked about last week, if you're a DB or a DB lover like I am, Sauce versus Surtain, that is going to be a phenomenal matchup for everybody to see. I think the deciding factor on this game is going to be the extra weapons that Aaron Rodgers does have. Tyler Conklin started kind of becoming more of a Robert Tonyan type of tight end last week. He's getting comfortable with him. Garrett Wilson's him, but we'll see who else around him steps up. Alan Lazard has had a moment, but he has not been able to, put it all together. But he's a solid second or third option. Talk about a second option, Mike Williams. We'll see when he comes up. But between the Broncos and the Jets, after losing so many pieces on the defense, I'm rolling with the Jets defense on this one. I think it might be a close one, sneaky good one. But Aaron Rodgers and the Jets take over. But in this NFC North matchup, Vikings at the Packers. We're rolling with the Packers. Why, you may ask? Why aren't you taking a 3-0 team? Because it's a divisional matchup. Who knows the Vikings better than their division opponents? They play each other twice a year. And one of the reasons why I am picking the Packers is because of the home field advantage that they will have so far this year. But, talk about excellent matchups on the first matchup. This one has a lot of excellent matchups. Justin Jefferson and Sam Darnold against Jeff Hatley and this defense that has been revamped. And then on the other side, you have Jordan Love taking on the B-Flow defense that has shut down C.J. Stroud, to name other younger top quarterbacks. So we'll see how those chess matches comes up. But I think this will be a hard-hitting matchup. The only reason I'm slightly leaning towards the Packers is because even with or without Jordan Love, they have shown that they could run the ball. They could be effective running the ball. Vikings, they might be able to run the ball, but they haven't made that a point of emphasis so far because they have just been winning games with their defense and Darnold. So we are rolling with the running game of the Packers on this one. Saints and Falcons, another division matchup. So many division games this week. And NFC South on this one. Falcons are out of their starting center, Drew Dahlman, who I think went on IR after the last matchup. Caleb McGarry at right tackle, he's out. And without these two guys, trusting that offensive line after the week one showing, and then they kind of showed a little improvement, but still never kind of really gelled together. Missing two pieces, not just one. Got to roll with the Saints on this one. Saints probably coming off tough loss last week against the Eagles. They're going to want to bounce back. This has to be their bounce back game, unfortunately, for the Falcons. I think defense and run game, same thing that I said with the Packers. Saints have made it an emphasis to run the ball. Falcons can run the ball, and they have Bijan Robinson in the back. They might be a little bit more heavily reliant on him in this game. And then at the end, we have Cousins versus Carr. Both quarterbacks are at similar levels, I believe. Even before the injury, Cousins was probably a little overrated and Carr was a little underrated, and they kind of get evened out with the teams that they do have. It should be a fun matchup for both veteran quarterbacks, but we'll see how this rolls around. We are rolling with the Saints in this one. Let's go, my boy DC, Foster Moreau. Raiders are down south, baby. Let's go. Eagles at Buccaneers. Philadelphia, don't kill me. But we are rolling with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on this one. Why? Because I trust Lovie Smith more than I do Jalen Hurts so far this season. Also why? Out in this game are his number 1 and number 2 wide receivers in A.J. Brown and Smitty. Vita Vea, is he questionable for the Bucks? We'll see. The second level, linebackers, other than Levante David, I have no trust in anybody in that defense. Vita Vea and Levante David, I don't have trust in anybody in that defense. Let me make that clear. But it's a bend but not break secondaries on both ends. I'm not going to give Eagles the benefit of the doubt saying they're an extremely better secondary either. Bucks are a lot younger, but they're still gelling. Antoine Winfield's out too. But at home, I'm still rolling with the Bucks in this one because of the way that they lost to the Broncos too last week. If not, all the Baker's back end resurgence and all that in a 2-0, it's all going to go down the drain at 2-2. So y'all better be careful. Next one, Bengals going on to take on the 1-2 Carolina Panthers. And for the Bengals, you can't go 0-4 or it's time to go. It's really that simple. Bengals trenches have been really devastated recently. Trent Brown's out. I think other offensive linemen could possibly be out. I'm not sure. Defensive line one, they're completely depleted. They're on their 6th or 7th pass rushers after Hendrickson and Hubbard. They don't have almost any help inside. The secondary has been like a leaky faucet, so it's going to be a hard matchup to see. But they just have to fight for the respect. It's really that simple. Panthers are out of Adam Thielen as well. Deontay Johnson's questionable. Like, they don't really even have the weapons that they used against the Raiders anymore. There's almost zero reason for NFL to believe Panthers are going to be relevant, and Bengals should put a nail in that coffin. Unlike my Raiders. Moving on, Jacksonville. We are rolling with the Bengals in that one, just in case you guys might have missed that. Jacksonville at Texans, another divisional matchup, AFC South in this one, and we are rolling with the Texans in this one. Why? Because the Texans need a bounce back of that Minnesota Vikings performance. Almost atrocious. They put up 7 points, but it didn't really even, look anything. And talk about not looking like anything. Jaguars 47 on a Monday Night Football. After you get that prime time, that's how you come out. I can't ever pick Clanton again. I know they have some injuries of their own. D-line, Filet Oluokun, he just went on IR. Pretty much the heart of their defense. Their captain, their leader. Yeah, until I see something different from the Jags, something that makes me believe in them, gotta go pick against them just for our benefit. Steelers at the Colts, at the Lighthouse. We are rolling with the terrible talent Steelers. Why? Because more than likely, I have belief that AR is going to throw a pick or he's going to have some fumble by TJ Watt. That defense is way too ferocious. It's going to be very, 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 and very hard for that Colts offense to kind of even handle that defensive line. I think getting Patrick Queen kind of just finished that defense off completely because you already had the headhunters in the front with Cameron Hayward, TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith on the other end. Now on that second level, you have Patrick Queen who will finish up anything that gets past them, and anything past that, you have Joey Porter and you have Minkah Fitzpatrick up top. If Justin Fields can do what he's been doing, remember this is not an overreaction Sunday, but Steelers might go to the Super Bowl. Run game, control the clock, defense, win games after 0 turnovers by Justin Fields. However, I still do want to see him in a shootout, see what happens when he needs to go put up points and how the offense kind of turns out that way. I know they're linked with another receiver, but even without that other receiver, let's see how they go on and see by week 8, by trade deadline, if they actually do need that second wide receiver. Because I do have faith in Calvin Austin. He's been underrated and underutilized in that Steelers offense so far. Rams at the Chicago Bears. We're rolling with the Bears in this one. The injuries that the Rams have, the way that they won last week, I don't think miracles can happen twice. Could I be wrong? Yes, I can. but can't hang my hat on any, miracles to happen 2 weeks in a row. So we got to roll with this one. Caleb's still playing like it's college. He needs to kind of realize he's in the NFL and just establish some run game, man. Like, help your quarterback out. He's a young guy. He's still learning and try to do everything extra. As OC, just help him out. I think their OC might still be Shane Waldron. I could possibly be wrong. Just help him out, Shane. It's really that simple. And the weapons that Caleb has, literally, arguably the best supporting cast, but they have not looked the best. So, I digress. We are rolling with the Bears still. Moving on, Commanders taking on the Cardinals. Two former Heisman winners, Marvin Harrison, not really taking on, but against Scary Terry. This one, I think the team that can control the trenches, the line of scrimmage, I think wins the game. I think Cardinals are like extremely underrated, the way that they smacked on the Rams, and then the Rams come and beat the Niners by 3 last week. The whole rotation of the NFC West. It's a pretty scary gauntlet. They are a team that will come and they'll come to fight every time. But on this one, after the performance that they did have against the Bengals on the road, we got to roll with the Commanders. I think their defense is slightly better than the Cardinals. I know Buda Baker's still there. However, other than that, we don't really have faith in anybody else. So we got to roll with the Commanders in this one. Moving on, Patriots, live from Santa Clara, taking on the 49ers. We got to roll with the Niners in this one. I know Niners have a lot of offensive injuries and they have a lot of drama going off, but Fred Warner and that defense is still pissed off because they're still the same thing. They don't have any drama on their side of the ball. Talk about drama. The drama that can happen in New England is that offensive line is absolutely atrocious. It looked decent in the preseason, and it's back to being its best self from last season, which is being terrible. That's why Drake May can't play. And it's really that simple. And also the lack of weapons. I know they went out, drafted 2 young wide receiver, I think Baker and Polk. I could be wrong. For sure Baker. But they never went out to go get a number 1. I know they were linked with Ayuk. He didn't want to go there, but he is not the only wide receiver 1 in this league. There are other guys. Maybe go after T. Higgins a little bit, at least bring that chatter up. There are other wide receivers, but you're not even being active. So you've kind of dialed in for this season. I guess I don't blame you. But in this game, don't blame me for not picking you either. Moving on, Kansas City Chiefs taking on the LA Chargers. Another divisional matchup, this time in the AFC West. We are going to be keeping a close eye on the score, but we got to roll with Kansas City in this one. Why? I think this might be Travis Kelce return game. The NFL already did their best, already took out Derwin James. Yeah, he cooks Derwin James too, but it's better to have an All-Pro on your defense than not have him going up against another All-Pro Hall of Famer. But, NFL would rather have Travis Kelce come back. Next week they could have, oh my God, Travis Kelce's back with Taylor Swift in the LA suite. Get those clicks going. So, gotta go roll with the Kansas City defense that plays ferociously. I'll give them their respect. And the referees, they'll help them out, finish the game up. Los Angeles Chargers, Justin Herbert's already injured. It's going to be hard for them to kind of get past that. Yeah, I got to roll with the Chiefs in this one. The injuries, the defense. Sunday Night Football, Bills at Ravens, another excellent matchup. We are rolling with Ravens in this one. Derrick Henry at home, Bills dangerous offense. However, is that defense going to hold up? We got to see, especially with Baltimore being at home. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Finally, Browns at the Raiders. We are going with the Browns because that performance was embarrassing, and if I see that again, I might not even do the show. Till next time, I'm going to catch y'all tomorrow. Enjoy your game.